I took long way.
Gotta push your button, buddy.
What button? Oh. Stand here.
Leave it. What are you doing, Kaden?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm filling out my own car. I saw some stickers on it. Please. Very exciting video today. Just got my first car Sunday. It's a 1989 or 1988. I like to say it's 1988 because it's the year my mom was born. But it's a 1989 Camaro RS, and it's right here. Me and my dad have been trying to find one of these things forever. Golly. We've found a few, but they're a little too expensive, but we picked this one up Sunday.
The inside's a little dirty. What looks like it had a, lift the seat up here. You can see it kind of looks like it probably had a soda exploded in it. And the whatever's in the floor is kind of sticky and yucky. So we're going to work on getting the extractor out at some point and cleaning the inside. Try to get that taken care of. It is an all original 89 RS V6 car. We eventually will probably end up doing an LS swap on it, I would imagine. But for now, we're just gonna leave it as a V6 and see if we can make it run pretty good. It has a few little small issues and stuff that we've got to fix on it, but anyway.
If you want to follow me over here, here's the rear of the car. Pretty sure that these are the things that protect it from getting too hot. I don't think those ever work though. Take those out because they are butterflies. But something definitely happened back here too. Probably the soda. Something like my dad said. Cracked over here. We will fix that. It's not going to take that long, I don't think. I think we'll definitely be able to have it done.
How long are you gonna be until you're 16?
2.5 years, I think.
Almost, not quite.
Huh?
Almost, not quite. Kaden wanted to find a vehicle that he could work on building and making his own for his very first car. So this was one of the few cars that he had in mind. Of course, there's some other ones out there. Unfortunately, some of the other cars right now, people just want a ton of money for, but he wanted a project, and that's exactly what this thing will be. As you can see, the roof's kind of in rough shape. The car's been sitting for a long period of time under a tree, unfortunately. So it does have some bad gas in there. We went ahead and, cleaned or put some fresh gas in there in hopes that it's gonna help a little bit, make it run a little better. Got a little repair we gotta do on the bumper up here, which we'll probably just find another one. Also the hood's kind of dented up here, so we're gonna look at probably just going ahead and replacing both of those. So I can get the hood open here. Hold on. Gotta pull out on it. There it is.
Does it have a stick?
Nope.
So again, this is the all original 2.8 liters of Fury. Has air conditioning still, so that part's pretty cool. That's part of the reason I'm not really interested in swapping it over just yet. Because as far as we know, other than it running a little bit rough, everything seems to work for the most part. So we'll kind of see how that goes over the next few weeks. We're gonna do a couple different videos and stuff of what we are doing on the car as we go. We're getting ready to start on working on cleaning this crap off the hood, and hopefully we can, or off the car in general. So hopefully we can make it look fairly nice. So, but I'm gonna put a hold on this video. We'll start another one here in just a few, showing some of the chemicals and stuff that we're gonna use to try to get this cleaned up. All right, guys, we're back here. Kaden's getting ready to spray some Purple Power cleaner pretty much all over the car, all over the hood, all over the wheels, the whole entire car, because as we were saying earlier in the video, the vehicle's been sitting under a tree, so we got to try to see what we can do to get this gunk off of it. As I mentioned earlier, eventually we're going to get another hood for it. For now, we're just going to try to make it look as nice as we can until we can get some new parts and stuff in. Other than the dent in the driver's door, which I'll show you guys, it's hard to believe that this thing is an 89 and still has all the original paint on it, and for it to be in as good a shape as it is, considering that it's all original. Other than this little area here where something had fell on it and hit the hood and broke the bumper, as you guys can see right there's a little dent in it. Other than that, literally, guys, the body is just so nice. And as you can tell, where the door is, how faded the paint is, and then you look back here, we haven't even washed or anything, but you can see how shiny that part of the paint is. That's an indication right there that it's not going to take a whole lot to shine this whole thing back up. So Kaden, you want to go ahead and spray some of that stuff on there? And guys, we're going to get to scrubbing. All right, guys, I got the youngest boy out here. He's helping Bubby work on that car. I know a lot of you are going to cringe whenever you see him using one of those brushes on there, but this stuff is just so thick on there. We had to spray some extra cleaner on there. It's starting to come off. As you can see how nasty that water is that's on there. That's that gunk coming off there that's from that tree. So I know a lot of you, like I said, a lot of you will cringe because we're using that, but you've got to use something to agitate the cleaner around to help keep it working in order to get that stuff off there. So that's what we're doing. We're getting there. Kaden's been spraying, he's been scrubbing. More videos to come, guys. We're just going to kind of post a few videos along with this as we go, and we'll see what it turns out like. I think it's going to turn out pretty good.
We didn't get very much of a video tonight, but we used some of this clay tonight on the hood. Definitely have learned some new things, and it's very smooth, can't really hear anything. And then come down here, you can hear it just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear it on video, but there is just a little bit of a, I think I did a pretty good job, definitely not as good as my dad.
You can still see how much dirt and stuff is in the paint from it sitting under that tree. Bunch of tree sap and stuff. To give you guys an idea how much that has changed, we've done the hood and it is all gone. So we're gonna do the rest of the car tomorrow. We're gonna finish doing the top and the rear hatch and spoiler. That's where the rest of the bad tree sap is. There's a little bit on the sides. A lot of it came off whenever we washed it. Kaden's gonna do a little quick startup video of this thing. It does run a little bit rough when you first start it, unfortunately, but we are going to be working on that to get that corrected over the next couple days. So
some fun facts about this car before we start her up. Whenever we got this car, came with all the original paperwork, how many body shops it's been to, all sorts of stuff. It's insane. We can probably go just do a little bit of it. I don't know how much we can show on YouTube though, because it is have people's names and probably their credit card information on there.
Yeah, the people that had it before, so technically we're only the third owners of this vehicle. The original owner sold it to a family member, and then that family member sold it to us. They've got all their documentation of everything that they've had done since it was new, even down to recalls. The body work stuff that was done, it did have a mirror put on both sides, front bumper, and a fender. So they thankfully were reused with original components. So that always makes it nice. They always makes it fit better. So, all right, Kaden. 06 car. It has a little bit of a miss at idle, as you can hear in the video. But it tends to go away once it warms up, so we do believe it's probably got an intake leak. But we're going to dive into that too and figure out what's going on.
One more thing while this thing is going. I believe the second owners of this car, their middle name was Lee. And the funny thing is, me and my dad's name is Lee too, so just pretty crazy coincidence.
Alright, we're going to make some more videos tomorrow morning. Let you guys know how the rest of the paint repair is going. I think you guys will be pretty surprised of what me and Kaden's going to do with the paint on this car. It's going to look totally different. We'll get some videos showing how dull it is. After doing the scrubbing on it and clay bar, unfortunately it does tend to dull the paint down. So we will have to buff it. Right now it looks shiny because it's wet. But we'll show some more videos of that. Thanks guys. I'll run that compound over it.
Yeah.
Made a couple adjustments. Kaden, I'm going to see if it will start and stay running on its own now. Oh, it's getting there. I think a good tune-up and she's gonna start and run by herself just fine. All right guys, we're out in the shop again today. We're gonna be working on the old Camaro for Kaden. Going to be doing a tune-up on it. Right now he's working on getting the spark plugs gapped and make sure we get those at the right gap. We're going to be putting a thermostat in, doing an oil change with a good old Roll King oil. We're eventually going to switch it over to R134A. Got a fill filter to put in, a couple other little parts. So see what we can get done today. You ready, Kaden?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Get this
exciting.
bad boy going. Oh, and we have a cap and rotor to put on. As earlier mentioned in the video, the cap that is on this thing, the rotor, which I'll attach another picture and show you guys what the inside of it looks like, it is in bad shape. Getting her done, Kaden?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Spark plug.
Third spark plug. Be a master mechanic. What time you're 18, aren't you?
Maybe.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
What do you got there? What kind of spark plug we got, Kaden?
I got a Walmart one.
That's what we call those, isn't it?
Yeah.
It may have come from a parts store, but Walmart sells these auto light plugs a lot. It's kind of hard to tell. Boy, you can tell this thing's burning a little bit of oil, and it's kind of like it's gummed up with some fuel too. So I'd say you probably got a little bit of a tuning issue. Either it's got an intake leak somewhere and it's causing it to want to run lean, and it's taking and dumping a bunch of fuel to it possibly. Not exactly sure just yet, but got new parts to put on. We'll see how it runs when we're done. How's it going, Kaden?
Yeah, not the best.
You're getting it though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ain't no thing though, is it? Got a couple little projects going on today. We got old Lurchy out here. He's working on putting some calipers and brake lines on the old Chevy. We'll put some new struts in there. Them bad boys are about wore out, so. Getting there, slowly but surely. We'll get her. A little warm today. What is the temperature outside? Isn't it like 85 today or something like that?
I think so.
It's a little warm being out in the sun. All right. One thing you want to be careful with, Kaden, you see this little thing right here?
Yep.
That actually is hooked straight dead to the battery. So if you was to hit metal against that, it'll spark. You'll start doing some welding that you don't want to do. So better be careful.
It's really satisfying.
What are you doing underneath there?
Changing the oil. First time ever.
First oil change?
Yep.
What kind of shape is that oil in?
Terrible. Not very good at all.
Pretty nasty.
Dad said, because me and my brother and sister, we would always get under one of their little power wheels and start working on the engine on the other underside of it. And he was like, remember all those times you worked on your brother and sister's car? I'd be like, yeah. I was like, well, perfect time to do it now.
All that practice paying off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright. Oil change is about done.
A lot better than what it was before we did all the different changes. I think here in a little bit we might give it a little bit of a test drive. I'll try and film the best I can.
Got to work on the timing a little bit. I do believe the distributor is out just a hair. Probably going to try to work on that later this week. I got to borrow a timing light from my work because I don't hardly ever work on any of these older vehicles that have that. But the crank's already marked. All we'll have to do is just kind of get an idea of where the timing's at now. Probably add just a little bit, a couple degrees, kind of let it run a little bit better. Can't add too much with these fuel injected ones back in these years. They for some reason just don't like it. So we did find a few issues with the distributor when we were in there. The distributor was in pretty bad shape. It's really rusty on the inside. Got the old cap here, kind of hard to see, but like that little electrode there, kind of hard to tell, but it was almost, I mean, it's super flimsy. You can just bend it back and forth with your finger. It's literally about ready to break. So that's definitely helping a whole lot. I have the rotor around here somewhere. It's also in bad shape, but anyway, definitely running a lot better.
We got everything done that we wanted to get done today. We just ran to a local store to get some new spark plug wires because they weren't working the best. They looked newer, but they didn't work the best, so we just threw those on just now. And
what we found is the spark plug wires, the boots where they connect down to the spark plugs, they were actually arcing through the heat shields, and we didn't notice it until it started getting dark, but they were actually arcing through the heat shields of the spark plug boot or wire boot and against the metal. And I think that's another reason why it was kind of idling and running a little bit rough. We're getting ready to fire it up right now for the first time since we replaced them, so we're going to see how it does. Okay, y'all, is going to hit the key.
hey, let's do this thing.
Got a little bit of an exhaust leak, but it's coming around. All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night. It's running a lot better than it was after everything that we've done. It still has like a slight little bit of a miss at idle. We do feel that there is an issue with the distributor. When we had the cap off earlier, there's a lot of rust and dirt and grime down inside there. So I do think we're gonna have to look at getting a new distributor for this thing. Also, the metal sleeves that go around the spark plug boots where they hook onto the spark plugs, there's like a little isolator inside those little tubes, and most of them are all ate up inside there, so I'm probably gonna look at getting a set of those and putting on there, because that should help hopefully keep it from arcing out still. It still does it a little bit, not as bad as it was, but it's coming along a little bit by little bit. Anyway, guys, Kaden's gonna do the outro here, and then we're gonna call it a night.
I've gotten a lot done today. I'm very proud, but it's definitely gonna be a project car, which I'm glad about because we finally get to actually work on a car for myself. My dad gets to help me too, and me and my brother
and sister, we would always get their little toy cars or their Power Wheels, like I said earlier, and we'd always work on the underside of them. All sorts of stuff. We even have use the driveway, and use chalk and make lines and everything. And yeah.
Now you get to do it in real life, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
We did, it's probably gonna be a little hard to see, but we did put a little, yeah, you can't see it in this video, but we did put a little speaker in the back there. He's got a pretty nice sounding little stereo system now. So, should be able to thump and bump around a little bit, but it'll be a project for another day. We appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you would. We sure would appreciate it. Thanks, guys.